What's up, everybody? Ty Bartel in with another edition of Player Profile brought to you by our friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. I'm joined by one of the seniors of the girls basketball program over at Austintown, Fitch, Rachel Spalding, joining me today. Rach, how we doing today?
Great. How are you?
I'm not doing too bad myself. When we talk about your senior season, you're having quite the season, leading the team in scoring per game, over 12 points per game, and just having a great year all the way around. Talk to me about how your senior year has been too, and how you've been able to kind of put it all together on the floor so far.
Yeah, at the beginning of the season, we talked to the coaches, just telling them my goals for the season. I wanted to lead the team in scoring, lead the team in some stats, but I also wanted to be a leader on the court and help us get some wins and do good in the tournament. So I think it's just a lot of encouragement coming from them, and I'm glad I've been able to do that so far. Especially at the beginning of the season, I think I was doing a little better, but I'm hoping to uh, keep improving as the season goes on.
What do you think the biggest thing was for you going into being a leader this year as a senior? What was that biggest step for you too, and what was it like for you to kind of find that leadership voice?
Yeah, I think it was encouragement from coaches and teammates because losing multiple seniors last year who I'd played with the past 3 years, it was pretty hard. But just trusting that my training has given me knowledge over some other players that I can maybe um, give to them as I finish out my last year of basketball. And it's just trying to inspire my teammates and just have a fun season, finish out well.
What would you say the thing that you've most improved on from freshman year to now is?
I think confidence. My freshman year, I was kind of a role player. Same with even sophomore and junior year, it was more passing, stealing on defense, just providing pressure in certain areas. And my teammates, I relied on them to score. So this year's just been about believing in myself, believing that I have those ways that I can score and contribute to um, the team in different ways than I have in the past.
So you're talking confidence on the court, but as a person, what's one of the biggest things you feel like you've changed in from freshman year to now?
As a person, I don't know. Maybe confidence in other areas of my life. I think in academics, it's confidence too. In friendships, it's having confidence to put yourself out there. I think I've made a lot of different connections through sports, and that's helped me grow as a person a lot.
I mean, you talk about confidence in the classroom. I would if I had your GPA and I was repping the ACT score you're having too. Shout out your GPA, shout out your ACT score because as great as your stats on the court are, those are the stats that I'm most impressed with off the court.
Yeah, thank you. I got so I have a 4.0 GPA and then a 34 ACT.
34, 36 is a perfect ACT, folks. So 34 is like unheard of. When you get over a 30, you're elite of the elite. How much time goes into your academic work? How much time goes into the studies too, and just and putting all into the academic side of the student athlete?
Yeah, I'm pretty busy, but I like to prioritize my schoolwork. I try to get all of it done at school, but if I don't, I make sure to make time after school, finishing homework, studying for tests, and then going to practices and stuff. So I think it's just time management um, and prioritizing the right things.
I mean, the core classes are the core classes. You got to take them, but I know you like to be in that school too, and you like to kind of broaden your horizons. What are some of your favorite elective classes that you've gotten to take and experience some different things?
Um, I haven't taken that many elective classes, but this year I took an economics class and it's really fun. It's a new subject, something that I haven't learned about at all in the past 4 years. So it's really interesting to get to learn something that is required for college. So it's just been fun doing something different than what's required.
Who are some of the teachers that have had the biggest impact on your life at Fitch?
Yeah, there's a great amount of teachers at Fitch who have had an impact. I think Mr. Drummond, my economics and government teacher, Mrs. Williams, my physics teacher, Mrs. Herberger, my pre-calc teacher, just a lot of people who encourage me in the classroom, and it gives me um, inspiration to do well and to just have fun with it.
When we talk about your basketball journey, I know you're a multiple sport athlete. Like you said it yourself, you're a very busy girl too. When did the basketball journey start for you? When were the first chapters written in your book for that?
Yeah, I've played I don't know when I started really young, but probably since I was like 5 years old. I've been on a team, on Fitch team, since like fifth grade with a lot of the same people that are on the team now, and I've got to see them grow and just really growing my love for the sport because of how long I've been playing it. So it's kind of sad to be my last season this year, but I'm really just trying to embrace it because of the time I've spent working on it.
You talk about growing the love for the sport. When did the love for the sport begin, do you feel, and what kind of kept you in it all these years?
Yeah, I think basketball has been my favorite sport since I started playing. I played obviously softball when I was younger, a few other sports, but basketball is truly where I feel the most confident, and I love the people I'm surrounded by. And that probably started in like fifth grade, right when I started. It's just loving the game and every aspect of it.
Basketball is one of those sports that is constantly talked about as you get what you put into it. You get out of it what you put into it. So all the work you put into it, you can expect to get all that back out of it. When you talk about some of the lessons the sport has taught you that kind of translate to actual life too, what are some of the biggest lessons the sport of basketball has kind of taught you through life?
Yeah, I'd say the biggest lesson is that you fail more than you succeed in basketball. It's kind of a hard pill to swallow sometimes when you miss more than you make during a game, and it's kind of frustrating. But it's important to know that like each time you fail, there's going to be success eventually because of how much time I've put in as a person and working on my shot, working on my defense. It's all going to come together, but you need to embrace the failures and learn from them, especially in losses. You need to learn from your losses, but also learn from your wins where they're pretty rough games, but you can still always find something to learn and improve from.
I love that you mentioned confidence earlier in the interview too, is the thing that you feel like you've gotten really good at too, and you've really improved on since freshman year. And I feel like you see that on the floor and the way you play too. I think all sports is like that with all kinds of players too. It's always a confidence battle too. Am I as good as I think I am too? Am I good enough to compete there? Right. When you talk about some advice you can give for those younger players that are coming up too, how did you find your confidence and how do you kind of reassure yourself in your confidence too on and off the floor?
Yeah, again, I think it's just remembering all the time you've put in and all the work you put in to improve as a player. And I think I talked about this in our last interview. Our coaches tell us to have a next shot mentality. So it's just about like I hope the players who are younger than me on my team they realize that like you're gonna miss shots, and it's important to have a next shot mentality, not focus on those misses, but to just look forward to the next minutes of play or the next practice, and just always trusting your the work you put in.
Now, I don't expect you to have all the answers for this, but it is a thing going into youth levels of basketball too, that the girls' numbers too are going through a little bit of a dip overall to girls' basketball as a whole in the state and in the area. What are some things you think can get the girls back involved in the sport too, and get them to have that love for the sport like you did? What are some things, in your opinion, that can get that involvement back?
I think um, former players encouraging younger players is a big one. We have our youth camps every year, and yeah, the numbers have been lower than other years, but it's important to just make those camps fun for the players, not put a lot of pressure on people to do amazing because they're just starting out in the sport. I think it's important to just, yeah, encourage them in what they want to pursue. And I think also just, I don't know, just making it
Like
more,
I said,
not putting a lot of pressure on each other, and working with younger players as you grow and as you like graduate or whatever it is.
I know you guys have worked with younger players too. Just the other game too for your senior night. I mean, the fourth, fifth, sixth grade teams, they were all introduced to, and they loved that. They were in the stands cheering for you. When you talk about that connection with the youth too, how is that feeling like? Is it a full circle moment feeling when you're the one teaching too now that the younger girls when you were that younger girl not too long ago?
Yeah, I mean, I love all the little kids that come. They come watch our games. They say hi. They come to our practices sometimes, get working. But I remember when like Sam, Liz, and I were younger players, and we were at those camps. And I remember certain of the older players who made the camps really fun and just encouraged us, and I hope to be one of those people for the younger players now.
What's it like to have that journey with Liz too, and be able to have her alongside you throughout all of this?
Yeah, it's awesome. We've been playing sports alongside each other for 17 years, and she struggled with some injuries the past few years for basketball, but this year it's been really nice having that connection. And I think you can see that on the court when we make cross court passes to each other or get a steal and kick it up in transition. It's just that connection is obvious and it helps us in our game.
When you talk about the high school experience too, I feel like student athletes always have new challenges that even people like myself too, that aren't too far removed from the high school scene, less than 10 years, are even a little bit of a disconnect with. What are some of the challenges you face as a student athlete in your day-to-day life too, that you have to battle that maybe some of the adults and some of the older generations don't really don't understand as well?
Yeah, I think sometimes it's hard to manage my time between sports, especially when I was doing um, multiple sports a year, obviously, but having homework to do after school, having tests to study for, it's kind of hard sometimes to balance that along with hanging out with your friends or going places, going to watch other games. But it's honestly nice. I like being busy. I like having stuff to do consistently, and I like prioritizing what I value most in life.
You've been a part of some history-making teams here at Austintown Fitch. Obviously, with the basketball team, first time you guys got the districts in quite some time last year. Softball, you guys are two-time state champions. You got a chance to be a part of that. When you talk about those experiences too, have you ever kind of reflected on it and realized what kind of career you've had at the high school level too, and what you've been able to experience too, and how has that reflection been too, and just what you've been able to accomplish in your high school sports career?
Yeah, I think during the moment I didn't realize how big of an impact we were making on the softball team and the basketball team. But looking back, it's nice to see like how all of us came together and just worked hard to make our team better and help the legacy of our school. And it's been really nice because I've gotten to meet a lot of new people. Softball team is a great environment. Basketball team is too, and it's just amazing to see like what we've done in the past 2 years even. And I'm excited for softball season to see what we can do this year. And I hope basketball we're able to do the same thing again.
You've left a legacy at Austintown Fitch, both in the classroom and on the field, on the court too. What you do athletically, what you do academically has been truly special, Rachel, and I hope you know that. But I'm really excited for what you're going to do, the legacy you're going to leave after high school too, because I know what your plans are and going to college too. Why don't you announce it? I know you've announced it too, but for anyone who doesn't know, announce it formally where you're going to be going and what the future plans are for Rachel Spalding.
Yeah, I'm planning on going to Ohio State University and I'm going to be studying aviation engineering.
Aviation engineering at the Ohio State University. What kind of weighed in on that decision too, both in the major and both in the school selection?
Yeah, I know a few people who go to Ohio State and they've said nothing but good things. And obviously, I've grown up watching their football games, watching their basketball games. I'm excited to be in that environment. And then for aviation engineering, I'm really into math and science. That's probably my best subject. But my brother also was pursuing his pilot's license, so I got to be around that field of study, I guess, and I thought it was really interesting. So I've considered becoming like a pilot in the future or a flight engineer. So I'm just really interested in that field right now.
That's awesome. That is just awesome. When you talk about the list of supporters that you have, I mean, I think it's unlimited, honestly, in that entire Austintown community. But there's always at least one that I feel like I see at every games too, and it's Mama Spalding too that I always see there. What's that relationship like with your mom too, and what's it like having her support there? Because I see her, I swear, at every single game.
Always there. I can always trust that she's going to be in the audience. We have a close relationship. She always texts me before games, encouraging me to play my heart out and to just play with no regrets. And she has a past in sports. She played basketball, softball. She ran in college. So she inspires me a lot. She encourages me. I hear her even when I'm on the court, helping me with certain things. So it's really nice to just have that support system that I can lean on when I'm struggling in certain things. And then she also just gives me advice so I'm a better player and person.
I know that one is a big one too, but I also want to give you that chance to give you the spotlight, shine it on whoever else you want, all the other supporters that have kind of been there with you along the way.
Yeah, I think lots of my teammates, Sam, Liz, but also coaches, teachers, my family. I think coaches, Coach Horacek has stuck with me throughout the past few years, and he's nothing but. What's up? Sorry, I'm doing my interview. It's okay. Um, sorry, that was Coach
No,
Horacek.
you're good. You're good.
Hey.
Hey, what's up, Coach?
Yeah, I'd say Coach Horacek just he has consistently supported me and encouraged me. He always tells me how he's proud of me about my performance in school and in sports. And then same with Coach Ward during softball season. He's just always encouraging all of us to be our best, and it's really nice to have that.
Well, Rach, I know all of us here at YSN have your back. We're big supporters. We're big fans of what you're doing. All of Austintown is as well. We're excited for what you're going to continue to do the rest of this basketball season, softball season as well. But of course, we're so excited to see what you're going to do after high school too, and what the legacy of Rachel Spalding is going to be once college kicks off and actual real life starts. This has been another edition of Player Profile with one of the Falcons seniors, Rachel Spalding.